category is basically good other than the bullet. Feels bad.
Let's see here. What's my budget? I gotta sell some cars, and then
What you selling?
cars you won't be able to buy.
Why?
They're police cars.
If you got an Explorer, I'll buy that shit $400K right now.
I need to figure out. Can I decommission a cop car?
You can. That's what fucking Lenny Hawk did. I will.
Wait a minute. Maybe. Wait a minute. Maybe you're right. Maybe I should keep my Scout.
Wait, why are you selling your cop cars?
I don't know. I don't like the car I bought. I don't really need it. I don't use it. Okay. Scout. I drive it. I like it. But we have shared ones, so it's like, do I really need my own? Would it not be worth going into something else?
I'll buy yours. How much you paid for it? How much you paid for it? How much you paid for it? I'll buy it. I'm a civilian. You know that. You know it won't be used for trouble. I would just use it to flex on people.
I might. Oof. I'm gonna have to confirm with like command, but if I can sell it, I'll let you know.
Command again. Oh, Pshaw.
Command. Come on, Hazel.
Here we go.
What do you
command?
Hey, listen, man. The last thing I need is the government coming after my booty hole because I decided to yoink a fucking cop car, decommission it, and tell them that I drive around with it off duty, and then have the police department with a fucking cap up my ass, waiting for me to pull me back like a goddamn string. I gotta do what I gotta do, Hazel.
Oh, I'm sorry. Decommissioned, shme commissioned. It's all fucking, oh, Ruby, you can't do that. Flops is like, and Barrick's like, yeah, you can't do that. Flops is like, oh, well, why the fuck not? Lenny Hawk did it. I don't want to hear shit. He still has his police car. I'm tired of this double standard of bullshit going on in this godforsaken city. Lenny Hawk is a criminal that's literally shot cops in the head, and he still has his fucking... Why the fuck can't I buy one from someone? I'm a goddamn civilian, and it won't be used for fucking street racing or any goddamn dumb shit I do. I'll just have it as a daily driver to say I have it.
I'll reach out and ask. I mean, I'll see. If they say yes, I'll give you a number. How about that?
Yeah, about it.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You feel better? Feel good?
No. This police system is fucking terrible. I'm not saying that there aren't good cops in it, like yourself, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I wake up, I'm like, I'm not gang.
Yeah.
I don't have a motorcycle club. Street racing is dead in the water.
Is it?
Yeah.
How bad is it?
Brother, no one does street races.
How come?
How come? Because no one fucking likes... No one... Every car has about 20 seconds. There are some cars that have a 20-second difference between them. It's not fun for a lot of people. At least before, cars were similar enough that if a good enough...
Back when I used to race, it was based on class.
Yeah, it was. Now it's not. I could go ahead and get a fucking supercar.
Are supercars the only way to kind of have like an actual
edge? I mean, even then, I guess you can say that because the rating on the car is what basically defines it. And even then, there are some cars that are more insane than others. The Ferrari GT being one of them. Ferrari GT is the stupidest car in the city currently.
Really?
The only car beating it is super hybrid cars that cost them $1 million. And even then, even if you have something of similar rating, the only thing that matters in the city anymore is acceleration. If every car goes 188...
Do you think there's people that actually have like a drive though? No pun intended, but people that actually like are interested in street racing?
Oh, well, no.
Or do you think...
I'll tell you, you know what, Flops? I can actually tell you this information. There's this thing called night races, right? They're random checkpoint things that happen in the city. Right? They can be anywhere in the fucking city.
I want to know. I won't be telling anyone this. I mean, I'm just saying.
Listen, you kept Eddie's secret, so you're good with me.
I appreciate it.
The problem is with it is like, yeah, sure, you go ahead and you get this fucking cryptocurrency that no one knows what it's for from it, and that's the only way you can get it. Or you don't get a cryptocurrency, you get this fucking, you get a fucking stock No one knows what the fuck it's for. No one knows what the fuck it's for. Me, I already have 2,000 of it. But you get like 24. It's like old G&E, you know? You get G&E from races, do you remember?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but the only way you can get them is by doing night races, right? So because of that, you don't get anything from normal races, right?
Okay.
So people who do normal races that like to partake in normal races just go ahead and do normal races for the fuck of it, which is cool. That's great. You know, you got the people who actually like to race, but let's be real here. Everyone waits until there's a night race to do anything.
Have you guys thought about doing cash only races?
What do you mean cash only races?
Buy-ins, one person hosts. People, yeah.
Flops. Do you don't think that people have already done that? People aren't racing because there isn't a drive for racing. People aren't racing because people would rather do these fucking night races all fucking night. You get 2 a night. People would rather fucking go then and do that shit rather than fucking actually participating in a goddamn race because they know they're gonna lose to actual racers. There's no etiquette in fucking night races. People just ram each other. People, you know those shitty fucking races that you see?
Yeah.
People just ramming each other? That's night racing. No one gives a fuck about etiquette there. There's just some random grinder in the fucking city that, there's some random fucking civilian in the city that feels like, oh yeah, I'm racing, rather than going to an actual race.
Let me suggest something to you.
Yeah, what's up?
It sounds like you have all the pieces to make something good come out of that. It sounds like what you don't have is structure.
Yeah, but let's be real here, Flops. As soon as they try to figure out that, oh, it's Hazel.
No.
Shit.
You're not hearing me.
Okay.
You need you and let's say 5 other people that you trust. Close to. You have a set of restrictions. You have a set of expectations. Those people are allowed to get in and race with you. If people do not meet those expectations, they're just not allowed to get in. If you wait, hold on. If you create exclusivity, people are going to want to meet the expectation of exclusivity. And if somebody goes and fucks around, then they're gonna find out, right?
I see what you're saying. The Flops, there's only one issue with this, right? You don't really get anything from being exclusive anymore. Before there were racing crew, before there was structure, there was G&E. You had the fucking big bad PM coming out of nowhere giving you random shit from boosting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you don't necessarily have that anymore. And I get it. And exclusiveness is fine. I mean, that's what sometimes me and a couple, I ain't gonna lie, me and a couple of friends do that. I'm not gonna out who. But, you know, I can tell you this right now that we've been there. There are people who actually have a passion for racing. I mean, I looked. There were some races that weren't night races earlier. I'm like, yeah, but it's the same 4 people. And I'm like, I see those people. You know what I mean? I see those people. I'm like, yeah, because we know when we actually race, we know what to fucking expect. If you hit someone, you stop and wait for them because, you know, you don't face 2 people anymore.
Yep.
You know how to pass people in the straights. You know how to do that shit. I will call you back in just one moment. Give me a second. And shit like that. And you just like, I don't know. You know, I know those people do, but the problem is, like, we do this shit for fun, and those people I can tell are passionate about racing. That's what they care about. They're car junkies. They're adrenaline junkies, battle junkies, just like. But you can't. The problem is like, let's night races start. I don't know, hosting actual races instead of these random checkpoint event races. Then no one's gonna fucking show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll say this much.
Why would anyone go to a regular race, lose to fucking someone who they know is a better driver than them, spend $500, potentially get chased by cops, do that shit, when I could just go to a quick 2-minute night race, find out once a night or twice a night, get a little G&E, sell it back for, I don't know, maybe like a couple, like $1,000 or so, and just go about my day because it's free entry. The only thing that you have to do is finish. Cops don't chase that shit. There's no risk involved. Why would I not do that for free rather than fucking, rather than fucking go to a NASCAR race? You know what I mean? Look, if this stock, whatever the fuck it is used for something, I have 2,000 of it. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? If there are tuner cars, which I'm coping so fucking hard. Flop, you have no clue how hard I'm coping for them. If that's the case, and shit, I'm good. But brother, this shit is dead in the water. Those are my grievances.
Do you not think that there's a way to make something out of it? It won't ever be what it once was. But do you not think that there's a way to make something out of it?
Someone needs to rally the troops.
My God.
Think so?
Yeah. I guess so.
You got my number, right?
Yeah.
We'll be in touch.
Like, all right, Flops. All right.
Give me 2 weeks, Hazel.
Okay.
I'll talk to you soon. All right, next conversation. I got the repair kit, don't worry. The problem with the racing scene is that there's too many variables nowadays, right? You need to remove variables. Literally strip it down to its bare fucking metal. And you need to paint the layers. But you can't paint too many layers, otherwise people won't be able to keep up. That means like no turbos, or a specific turbo range. Certain cars are banned. It just sounds like no one's given it an actual like go. No one's actually given it like a real opportunity to flourish.
Okay, fine.
Hey,
Hello.
how you doing?
Alive is the only way to put it.
Were you kidnapped? What's going on?
No, I just have had a very interesting past probably nearly week now, and it's a lot. Been a lot of conversations with people, and as well as concerns for people's safety, so it's been very interesting.
I get that. When I was, you okay if I have a cigarette?
You're fine.
Do you want one? I don't know if you smoke, but
No, I'm not a smoker.
okay. I apologize. I know I probably shouldn't be smoking with this
Ah, it's so good.
injury still, but you know.
Hey, whatever helps.
Yeah. When I was in EMS and I first started, one of the first calls I ever went to, I remember I went with a paramedic. His name was Balto Connolly. You may know him.
I've heard of him.
Balto used to practically run EMS, at least when I was around. My command was not typically very active, so he was a lot of my training. And Balto took me out on my first shifts, trained me, and come to find out, one of my first calls was somebody had passed away.
Mm.
And I remember that being a really hard thing to fathom. It was a hard thing to take in. It was a hard thing to, understand how to do. And it happened very quickly. They told me that within my first month, I'll probably have a critical or something, but a couple days, I had my first death. And I kind of panicked a little bit, and I had to learn sort of where that line was and learn how to suppress my emotions to kind of get to that point.
Mm.
But it's hard because the suppression of that builds, right? It catches up to you eventually.
It 100% does.
Yeah. So that's a scary thing. Your position is harder because it was my job to stabilize a person, but it's your job to save them, or do your best to save them. And it's a lot of pressure. So I get that. And you do it better than a lot of people.
I try my best when it comes to the work stuff. It's more been other stuff recently that's been very interesting. Yesterday was a lot of talking to people and processing a phone call I'd got the night before, because I personally don't know them, but from all I'm told about the person, it's probably not great that I've received a phone call from them. I think they said their name was... They didn't tell me their name, but I got told their name. It was Elizabeth something, but over the phone, they said if I wanted to learn anything about them, to ask someone about the Hound.
The Hound?
Yes. And I've been told about their past, and it is the same one. Because they've contacted others in the medical profession as well.
If it's the same person I'm thinking of, I'm pretty sure not even we, I think I was the one that fucking helped lead that case years ago.
I know they've contacted myself and at least 2 others, and if they can see a phone number for a medical staff member, they're calling them at the moment, so that's been fun to process.
Oh boy. Did they give you a last name to Elizabeth?
I think they said Doyle.
Hmm.
So that was a lot to process, because they reached out to me, said a whole bunch of things. They're offering protection and trying to meet medical staff. One person was stupid enough to go and meet them, but the rest of us are like, that's not a good idea.
All right. Ask who went to go meet him.
Perry Watson.
Are you allowed to carry a gun on duty?
Nope.
Knife? Anything?
No, no weapons.
Does the PD know about it?
I'm not sure, because I spoke to closer friends about it first. One of them recommended probably going to the PD, but I made someone I'm very close with aware.
Do me a favor. And I say this as somebody who has some trust in specific categories. There's people who will look into it and will do the best that they can. And I won't be the one to have the opportunity to do it because I won't be there much longer.
Interesting.
So,
It all seems like people are in an interesting state over there.
at the PD,
Yeah.
I wouldn't go around telling people about this. If anyone asks, you don't know anything.
Mm.
The other day when you had the 3 homicides at the hospital
Mm.
yesterday,
Yeah.
I sat in the corner by the cafeteria and I laid on the ground and I cried. And I cried a lot.
Definitely would have been a lot.
Yeah. I broke down. It was my first day back after getting out of the ICU, hearing about Richard, hearing about just a lot. I practically lived in that ICU for a week. And yesterday I got on duty to get my feet wet again. My first call was to go to the hospital and assist with 3 homicides. And I broke down in tears and lost who I was. I lost who I was as a person. I lost who I was as an officer. When I was attacked, I lost the things that I thought I loved. And I'm currently losing the things that I do love. And that's my family. And yesterday I had to walk into the PD and look at my command and tell my command that I formally was submitting my 2 weeks notice at the police department.
That would have been a hard choice to make.
It wasn't an easy one. I cried. I don't want to leave. But over the last 7 months, I don't know where I just don't know where my future holds. I don't know where it is, but I wasn't
Doesn't
happy.
feel like home anymore.
It doesn't.
Yeah. I understand that completely. This is nothing in the same boat, but I've been trying to make the hospital feel like home, but there is certain officers who have grown to be more accustomed to it now, but there's a couple that I've known for a while, and they are disappointed that I went to the hospital instead of going to people myself.
Don't let them stop
And
you.
I get comments about it. It's been interesting.
I'll give you the most sound advice that I've ever given any officer. You are in the beautiful opportunity that you get to pick your home. We all chose, for whatever reason, we chose this island. And I'll tell you from experience, this island does not have a lot to offer if you want to live at peace. living on this island is a risk. On a new government paving its way, a new mindset, and new ambitions. For as long as I have been an LEO, Kizu, I never in my career did the job to please anybody. I helped people. I was a good person. But I did it for me. We take a cute little oath telling us that we work together and stand to, support and defend the Constitution. Blah, blah, blah. The one thing in that oath is being unified. Being unified under one branch. We work together. Unironically, where you lose people in the PD? The we part.
Yeah.
We all work the same job, but we are not the same person. We all set our boundaries, but we all have different boundaries. The people that end up succeeding in the police department are the ones that do not follow the grain. The ones that go against the grain are the ones that are at most peace with their job. And trust me, I love my job. But we, at least in the way I view it, is where people fall because people try and impress others. People try and show each other what makes sense, what's right, how can I make this person happy? How can I show them that I really know this? When you change that mentality and you change it to, how can I do this? What do I need to do? How can I make myself happy? What do I need to do in order to make my environment better? As long as you're a good person, you will always be a leader to somebody. You will always be someone inspires to be. And I've had a lot of people tell me that they look up to me in the last 24 hours. People who I care about, people who I would even go as far as to say I consider family and I love.
Yeah.
But the reason people say that is because I didn't do it for them. I didn't follow the grain. I went against the grain. I did something that no one else did. I was myself, and I was a good person for it. And rank didn't mean anything. Rank means nothing to me. What means a lot to me, Dr. Kizu, is knowing that people look at me, or that I look at people, and there's a mutual respect. But it's earned. It's not forced.
100%.
When people talk bad about you because you made a choice for yourself, you should under no circumstance take that as guilt. Don't take it as bother.
I've had to get used to that because people in the hospital have tried to make me feel guilty for one of the friends that I have. They've given me shit about it since I started at the hospital.
If your friend cares about you, they'll support you no matter where you go.
She 100% does. And I support what she's doing now. But because she used to be a doctor herself, in the path she ended up taking, other doctors just say that I'm going to be the next version of her.
You being compared to others is ineffective. You comparing yourself to others is detrimental. Everybody will always be their own worst critic. And in your case, you are right where you deserve and need to be. And that's in a spot that makes you happy. And under no circumstance should you let anyone determine or dictate what makes you happy.
Mm.
And if so,
Hospital's been one of the few things holding me together recently with everything. There's a few people in there that I trust that have been, albeit watching me very carefully, because in some senses they're scared from myself, because I haven't told many people this, but in a sense my body's giving out on itself very quickly.
I understand that, and I think I get that more than most people. I mean, hell, I literally am giving up my job because of it. It breaks you down. You are one of the nicest, sweetest, and most outgoing doctors in that hospital. You are one of the few doctors who check in on people, make sure they're okay. You tell people what they need to hear, but you do it in a way that consoles them. Whatever you can do to make people at ease in a tough situation, you do. You put the life of the patient first. And that is incredibly admirable. And there's not many doctors I would stand here and have this conversation with. Not many people I would stand and have this conversation with unless I meant it. The impact you have at that hospital goes beyond what anyone thinks of you. And the only people that are going to see that are the people that actually care and the people that actually experience it.
It's actually really nice to hear, because I was very lost and nearly left the hospital recently because I didn't know how to feel with how things were, especially within the hospital internally with its command. Watching the attendings getting drunk and doing drugs while on duty was getting to me a lot.
The blindest people in any environment are the ones who do it every day. I'd like to think that I'm a good cop, and I'd like to think I have a lot of experience. But I'm one of, maybe we'll say 150 in total across the entire UPD. Out of thousands and thousands and millions of people who live in Los Santos. And the people that have recently given me an actual perspective of my life and my job and my career are arguably some of the most sinister people. But the question is, why do they do it? And you know what's crazy is those are the people who gave me a perspective that no one else has. When you're in the position to do your job, you do it because there's a lot of training, time, practice, careful consideration. It's a career. It is a lifelong career. And everybody who stands in your shoes is also trying to make a career out of it, is also trying to has their own set of reasons and morals for doing it, but everyone is working just as hard as the next to be at that point. But your vision of your future is different from another doctor's vision of their future. So when people start to do things or say things or something comes up or something happens, it doesn't matter. What matters is what matters to you. And even if my voice is a small portion of your day, or a large portion, or however, I don't even care how it's portioned. As long as this has some impact to you, me, an outsider looking in, you do more for that hospital, and you have done more for me personally than almost anybody in there. Courtesy to Dr. Bordier, she's also been phenomenal in reaching out to me, but you hold a lot of weight at that place. That's not a pressure, right? I want you to know that you have a lot of value there. And I don't want anyone to try and tell you or sway you in another direction.
The good ones don't try and sway, they just support what you want to do. I had a lot of conversations yesterday, especially with one person, and there's a lot of opportunities out there, but yeah. I think the hospital is what I'm the most
Chad, I think I'm getting
feeling
sick.
like at the moment.
My throat is scratchy.
I get to help without throwing myself fully into everything like I once did. Very, very long time ago, before I moved, I did some work back home in Australia. This is also the reason I've been encouraged to go to PD. I was an officer over there for a period, and then I ended up leaving after a very traumatic event that cost me my left leg below the knee.
Jesus.
Yeah, and that has been one of the things recently actually really plaguing me, because without knowing it, one of the doctors said some things and it set a lot off. So I've been in between when I've been seen at the hospital and stuff. Some days I've been just leaving the hospital and then waking up in the back of an ambulance because I've had an episode and then I've fallen into a seizure.
Jesus.
My body hasn't processed things well, and the seizures are getting violent. They're costing a lot of my body, and it's got to the point where it's affecting my heart, and I'm probably going to need surgery on my heart because of it. So it's been a very, very tough period.
I'm sorry to hear.
I've just been slowly trying my best with all of that, on top of, some days, I get yelled at for it by one of the doctors and a lovely person from EMS, running myself ragged at the hospital.
Yeah.
I do ridiculous hours because I've been using the hospital as a way to just not think about things, because if I can focus in on the job, then I don't have the episodes and the flashbacks.
As an addict, I'm gonna tell you that one of the best things that you could do for yourself, the best thing that you could do for yourself, is to give yourself the time that you need.
Mm.
I know that there's a lot of things that haunt and a lot of things that build. But I see it in the PD all the time. People that have a lot of things going on and they get on duty to clear their mind. And sometimes those are the people that scare me. I have somebody that just lost a family member, and them to get on duty and turn around and say, I'm on duty to clear my mind. I now have to trust that this person isn't going to have an outburst wearing the uniform. I've seen it happen. I mean, shit, Lenny literally shot Slacks in the fucking head at the hospital. One of our own.
Heard about that.
I got in so much trouble that day because his best friend was there. And he was lurking around the scene, and he was following, and he was staying by his shoulder. And I had my gun out. And they asked me why I had my gun out, and I said, right now I don't trust you. And I had officers look at me and say, how dare you? How dare you not trust your own?
How are you meant to trust your own when you've just watched one snap and attack your own?
My point exactly. I, for the life of me, will never understand how you trust your own after going through a traumatic experience and then being told that I'm the one out of line. And you know what? Maybe I was out of line to hold a gun on an officer. I didn't aim it at him. I just had it at my side.
I don't understand how that would have even been a problem, because at your side the weapon's just there for safety. It's not like you're actively doing anything with it, but I digress.
That's another rabbit hole to go down. I have a lot of respect for that officer still. And I told him flat out that I had a lot of problems that day that I viewed as not being good.
Mm.
Now, granted, that's me. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But I will tell you what I am for certain. And that's a man of my word. And I did it for me. I didn't do it for anyone else. I did it for me. I wasn't trying to save the PD. I wasn't trying to save Lenny. I was saving me. Because why would his best friend...
At that point, it just sounds like it turns in your mind, it's probably running through who can I actually trust, because you don't know if anyone else is going to snap.
We had 4 cops on duty.
Mm.
One of them is no longer a cop because he was behind bars. The other one didn't assist with the scene. And then there were 2 of us, and I was the only one in the room with Lenny and his friend. And I made a judgment call. Looking back, was it the right call? On paper, no. In my mind, I'd do it again.
Mm.
Still have a lot of respect for the guy, and I told him after that I don't hold a grudge. And that day was hard for everybody. But I'd be lying if I didn't tell you I didn't get in trouble for it. I absolutely did.
Mm. They would ream me for doing something like that, but they weren't in the moment to experience it all and actually see what it was like and how it felt.
This is a very underrated conversation right now. This is good. I fucking love this. This is so multi-layered. It seems very
In a
like
sense,
bare
it's
bone,
kind
but
of
it's
how I've
very
been feeling
multi-layered.
with some of the other doctors, because watching like Cantor and Ryan just drinking themselves, like drinking, just smoking marijuana in the back rooms while we're all just sitting out in the yards in the park. I didn't say this, but we're pretty sure one time they were probably doing cocaine in there, and there's a photo of it. So it's kind of hard to feel like who you can trust.
I get that. Something I learned when the government collapsed was that I was not going to stick around with the PD long enough for the government to have a death grip on us. And I stayed.
Hmm.
Looking back at it, had I not stayed, I would have been gone long, long ago. So, PD needs a lot of work. But I found the terms that I needed to move on from. And I think you are going to be just fine until you find the terms that you need to leave from. Just know that your value means a lot. And you have done so much for my family. And I thank you.
I'm glad I've helped.
You've done more than help. Not for nothing. If it wasn't for you, I don't know if my dad would even have a heartbeat right now. And from what you told me, it sounds like he may have permanent brain damage. And I want to give that man my complete undivided time.
Understandable.
Has he gotten better? Do you know any updates?
I've heard nothing so far, but as soon as I hear anything, you guys will know. I will make sure someone is made aware, even if I have to send a message to everyone. Someone will be aware.
I gotcha. I hate to do this. I'm going to have another meeting with somebody. Give me 1 second. Hey, could I call you back in about a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
I'm going to have to go have that conversation because they're not usually around right now, but
No, go for it.
let me leave you
Genuinely.
let me leave you with this. When anybody turns around and tries to discredit what is right, ignore it and trust your gut. Because regardless of what people may think, as far as I'm concerned, you will always be a good one. And you should not let anyone tell you differently for that, okay?
Yeah. I'm glad that I've made an impact on at least someone and helped out where I could.
You need anything before I go? Can I help you with anything?
No, I'm all good.
All right. I'm sorry it took me a minute to get down here, but if you need anything,
No, you're all good.
you call me and I will always make myself available, okay?
Alright.
All right. You do your thing and just reach out if you need anything.
I will.
All right. Thank you
Reach
so
out
much.
if you need anything as well.
Absolutely. You take care,
Maybe one
Dr.
day we'll
Kizu.
walk the same path together.
Listen, when that time comes, you will know, and I promise.
Yeah.
Clocks are ticking. Hey,
Hey, what's your dance card looking like after the storm?
I don't know yet. I've been having meetings. And I actually need to fill you in too. Um,
Oh, I just was calling to check on you to see how you were, but I guess something's happened, I take it.
no, I'm actually doing really good. I've been the most relieved I've been in a
Oh,
very long time.
that's good.
I not telling many people. Keep it to yourself. I trust that you always would. You're always good with that
Okay.
stuff. But I submitted my 2 weeks notice at the PD.
Oh, okay.
So, I'd like to have a deeper conversation with you and kind of talk to you about it. But I'm actually about to meet somebody in the next like
Well,
minute.
I'm about to take my fat ass inside and eat some pizza, but if you're gonna be awake after the storm, I call you first.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine by me.
All right, you know how I am though. Give me 20 minutes to roll out of bed or so.
Nah,
I'll give
you're
you a call.
good. You're good. You take your time and do your thing, all right?
All right, talk to you soon, kiddo.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sounds like Balto saw that shit coming. Balto's like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ, finally. My God.
Hi.
Hello. I'm sorry. I was talking with the doctor who is looking after Richard right now, so I was getting an update on stuff.
Is Richard okay?
No. He's currently in the ICU. I mean, I have all intent on filling you in on everything.
Okay. That's alright.
But do you want me to come pick you up?
I'm at my house in Toledo, so I don't know. I'm fixing to go to sleep here soon.
I'll tell you
But
what.
I just wanted to call you back and
Yeah, of course.
check in.
Would you have a couple minutes if I came up to Toledo and we talked?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna jet up there. I'm on Popular right now, so I'm gonna jet up the highway. I should be 2 minutes, I think. Are you still at the same house across the way?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Is your car out front? Because I kind of forget.
It's not, but I'm out front.
Okay. Well, then I won't miss you. I will see you in just a minute.
Alright.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, God, dude. These conversations have been so good. Oh God, I was trying to switch my fucking song. I did Cool Tricks instead. All right, I switched my song too. It's fine. Yeah, this was kind of clean. Damn. I kept all my headlights too. Oh, man. I'm the one with the lighter. All right, anyway. The talk with Dr. Kizu was very good because I think Flop is a wealth of knowledge for people and just views things differently. And I think Flop his main thing is reminding people that it's not about who you please, it's about yourself. My pizza got delivered right as he picked up. Oh my god. From wholesome to outright terrifying. I know someone else that can go from wholesome to outright terrifying too. You're watching him. Nana's the best example. I'm gonna skip this song. I want to see what songs come on after, but I do like this song. Ooh, this is a good one. Honestly, when I first saw Nana sat at the hospital, I didn't even recognize her. Pause. Kind of hard to miss you with a hard hat on.
Yeah, I figure it's probably a good idea.
Yeah. How you been? How you feeling?
I'm okay. I had a concussion. Woke up. Was still kind of getting my bearings, and then I went and I roughhoused a lot, and I probably shouldn't have.
I don't know if you remember, we had a brief conversation. I told you to keep yourself safe and in good company, but
I am in good company, but I don't know if the clowns can ever be described as safe.
I was gonna use a bad analogy, but they yeah, no.
They're good people, but they, bless them, they never would have the wherewithal to know that I'm not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I think they do in their own way.
They love. I just think they have a hard time showing
I
it.
think they can tell, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's more like if I'm acting okay, they're not really gonna be like, oh, maybe you shouldn't do this. So I have to have more presence of mind with that, I think.
Yeah.
In my defense, I had a concussion.
I think that's a good defense.
Still have a concussion.
Oh, well, I don't want to
But
overwhelm
I'll
you with
be
stuff.
alright.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good. I had an MRI, and I've been checked out thoroughly, so I'm not gonna keel over or anything. I just
Mm.
need to take it easy.
One step at a time. I figured I'd at least rip this band-aid off first. To answer your question about Richard, he's not okay.
You know what happened?
To an extent, yeah. He was being, I guess, chased by some people.